Okay, Intro to B1 Part 2. Again, I'm Penelope Young. Students complain that I'm very strict and expect a lot, but when I talk to other instructors, I know students say those things to a lot of people, but that's probably pretty true. I'm very picky about plagiarism. I'm very picky about the emails. I'm very picky about a lot of stuff. So that's why I'm giving you this chance to look over the syllabus, to look over the information, and to see if you're the student that fits for this course, for the style of teaching that I have. Um, it's not going to be a situation where I cater to and tailor make it and customize it for you. I won't do that. This is one to many, 144 students. I couldn't possibly, even if I really thought that was a great idea, which I don't, to make this really work for a variety of how you want to say, people with different schedules and things like that. This class is available to you 24/7, 7 days a week through the whole semester. Due dates are every Thursday. You will have a due date every single Thursday. Okay? If you miss a due date, you do have some options, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But just know that I'm really strict about that stuff, and I expect for you to take care of due dates and be on top of things. All right? That's a general comment I would make. Okay, so when we're navigating the course, when we got to get back to the front of the course, you can either hit up here, you can hit home, that's another alternative, or you can hit modules. You're not going straight into assignments, you won't even be able to see it. See how it's whited out? Only I can go there. And ConferZoom should be out too. I think that's going to be out. A lot of that stuff will be gone. Okay, so you have to access the information in order, and you have to mark these different pages as done. And again, I'm going to state this a couple times. You need to make sure that you have a laptop or a desktop for this course, a phone and a iPad. For one thing, the multiple choice doesn't always line up perfectly, and you might lose points. The other thing is, for the essays, I don't accept text files. You have to have a document file that's from a word processing software. There are online options, but you got to make sure that it's compatible, and I'm going to leave that to you. And if you don't have a compatibility situation and I can't open the file or read it, or it's hard to read, you're going to either get a 0 or lose points. So make sure you have that stuff before you start this course. Okay, statement of professionalism is the next thing you're going to go to here, and you're going to read that over. You're going to need 2 to 3 hours a week on 3 different days for this course. Now, that is really true of every section pretty much for this course. I just say it a little more directly so that you're clear on what's happening. Okay? So, regular class attendance, active collegial participation in the discussions, which we will have a couple critiques and things like that. And then adherence to rules of etiquette and promptness of completion of assigned activities and respect for instructors and fellow classmates. I don't get too many situations where there's disrespect either to me or classmates, but it does happen occasionally. And I'm going to remind you that you did sign this and you did note this, okay? It's the same as any classroom would be. It's just that it's stating it in a little bit bigger, firmer wording. Online learning, are you ready? Okay, it's important that you understand what online learning is all about. There's a lot of help, a lot of support, and this is even a third party outside of Bakersfield College. But Bakersfield College offers a lot of support for students that are struggling with online learning. There's a lot of tutoring. There's all kinds of things that can happen for you. I am not online tutoring and I am not tech support again. So you're going to go over here and you're going to scroll through here, and then it'll give you basically the technical stuff that you need to be ready for your computer, what you need, note to iPhone users, and so on. And you can go through all that information. Okay, you're going to check that off. If you email me and say, I've never learned online before, please be patient. Well, sure, I'll be patient, but I'm not going to be able to help you, and I'm not going to extend your due date. So that's up to you to catch up on. Netiquette, So we did a fake email already, little sample email. And this also has some safety things too. I will tell you a couple of times actually, I've had students accidentally log in as the other student where they're sharing a computer, either in the same household or I had two guys on a football away game and they shared a laptop and one of them took the other one's midterm and it was kind of a mess. So make sure you've completely logged out and don't give your password to anybody, even well-meaning. That's just not a good practice. Make sure that you're the only one doing your work, okay? So there's some different things on here about security, like I just mentioned. And then down here about the golden rule, and there's just no reason at any point in time, even if you're failing the class or a lot of things are happening in your life or you felt that I was being unkind, just be as positive as you possibly can. Sometimes I will kind of reply quickly, and I make the mistake occasionally of replying from my phone, and I didn't scroll down and look at all of the whole message as carefully as I should have, and more and more I wear glasses, and I maybe misunderstood something. So I occasionally make mistakes myself, but please don't take it personally. I am very strict with everybody, okay? It's not an attack on you. You can ask other students if you wish, but make sure that you're writing a full, thoughtful email each time and don't use all caps. One other thing I will mention, I don't think it's on here, wait for me to reply. Like, I've had a couple of students, I had one guy on a football team, another college, I think. He just sent me 6 emails in a row because I didn't answer him immediately. My policy is 48 hours return time. It's not rapid fire. I'm not online all the time, okay? So you need to wait until I reply to something, even if you're frustrated. If something's really wrong, like the due date on the assignment is wrong or something like that, I can always change it later, okay? Or I really graded you incorrectly. That can be repaired, okay? But really keep your tone pleasant. Absolutely. And I'm kind of to the point where I'm not going to reply to any emails that are unpleasant. Okay, if I haven't scared you away by now, we're going to go into the syllabus. 2 places to find it. It's over here in its own little section, and it's also right here. You do have to mark it done. See all these marked dones on there? You have to do that. And grade challenge instructions are down here. Also very strict about that. And by that I mean per assignment. So here's the course syllabus. You can download it here if you wish and print it out. That's always an option. This needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but down here it'll tell you what my response time is and so on. I respond to every single email, absolutely. But if it gets impolite or rude, I'm going to CC the director of student life or the dean, and I may not respond because I've kind of decided there's a couple of bad actors I have. Yeah, it's like one person out of 200 every semester that just melts down, and I'm not going to email back on those. Okay, so keep your tone pleasant. Just be understanding that I will actually email you back. I'll be as helpful as I possibly can be. All this being said about not helping you with technical things, I will help you with the coursework as much as I possibly can. Absolutely. So student learning outcomes are here, course description. Our book, this link here should bring you over. Let's test it out. There we go. It's going to bring you over to our book, 3rd edition. Now you can buy the 2nd edition, but it's at your own risk because the essay questions are going to ask you very specifically about certain images, and they aren't all in the 2nd edition. Okay, so just at FYI, you can save some money, but it might hurt your grade. I would really highly suggest reading all the PowerPoints, and I do the audio PowerPoints just in the same way that I'm showing you right now, and I'll show you one of those. Look over all the required reading. Make sure you understand the course you're in, okay? Attendance and weekly lecture are here, and if you do not submit work in 10 days, then you're going to be dropped. Technical information here, again, that's that orientator. Actually, is that the same? Do we go to the same place? That's a really helpful thing. That's not in the muddiest point right now. I should get it in there. But that's really nice. So if you're having some questions, go back to the syllabus. I have so many students that just look at the syllabus the one time and never go back to it. There's a ton of information on here. Here's about document and image formatting. These are the do's and don'ts on here. So there's no text files. You're going to lose 10 points. 10 points out of 50, and then perhaps the information isn't all that strong, and you end up with 20 points out of 50. That's not good. So make sure you're submitting the correct file types, which are Word, Docs, and PDFs only. Okay. Assignments and work ethic. A lot of things down here. You have a long time to do this work. The open dates are long. Some people blow through everything and just, do all the multiple choice right away. I don't have a complete problem with that, but it does give you a false sense because some of the other stuff is quite a bit harder. So make sure you're focusing on the hard stuff too. Don't just skip ahead and then miss the earlier due dates that you need to hit. It will not let you make up the midterm or final. The only exceptions would be is a police report or a doctor report. I've had a few pregnant mothers because, it's a good way to take a class online when you're pregnant. That's totally fine. I sometimes have students that are incarcerated. That's absolutely fine too. Do let me know if that's the case, just because some of the art materials may be harder to get, and I can talk to you about some options. I had some students do a beautiful video a couple semesters ago that were incarcerated, and it was just so amazing. And they did do an alternative art project. It was awesome. But for the midterm and final, I will not give you an extension, and I will not let you make it up unless you have some documentation that covers all of the dates that work was open, which is usually about 4 or 5 days. Okay? There's a one-time pass, and I'm going to talk about that in the next video.